Today's video is sponsored by the Cooks Guild. If you're looking for help with your cooking, fresh food, or even professional classes, the friendly staff of the Cooks Guild can cater to your every need. Stop in today and mention promo code SHORTGREENGUY for 10% off your order. Anyway, hey, Amascut here. We're doing a solo video today. It's been a little while, I know that. But, the usual crew is, having problems coordinating time together. And so, I'm going to try and do solo videos whenever we can't coordinate a group effort. And when we can, you'll get videos with all of us. So, kind of back to the traditional roots on times when we can't all get together. Anyway, just going to talk about a couple small things this week. We're going to talk about the brand new quest, Chef's Assistant. We're going to talk about some stuff with quest changes, and I'm going to briefly touch on Farmhands from last week, because those were pretty cool too. We're not really going to have any gameplay in the background, though. I was going to record the quest, but it was really short, so I didn't really feel like it was relevant. And you can go do it yourself. There's not really anything new in it beyond just some cooking. So let's talk about the quest here. All right, so we have our first brand new quest since December, Chef's Assistant. It is a novice level quest that requires 32 cooking so that you can get into the Chef's Guild. And also requires completion of Cook's Assistant. You're going to need a way to get into the Cook's Guild, so like a chef's hat or the sous chef's toque or something, or the Varrock Heart achievements and cooking cape or max cape, blah, blah, blah. You need some logs, steel bars, bucket of milk, pot of flour, pat of butter, pot of cream, and a cake tin. Almost all of that stuff can be obtained from the food purchasing option from Recipe of Disaster and Lumbridge, so if you've done Recipe Disaster, this quest is going to be a joke for you. But anyway, this was a pretty cute little quest. There wasn't really much to it. Very clearly a small free-to-play bottle quest. But basically, you talk to the head chef in the Cooks Guild. He wants you to help him make a cheesecake. Your character is incredulous. What? A cheesecake? No. That sounds so dumb. And then he's like swearing you to secrecy. And the Cooks, Apprentices, and Kitchen Experts Society, also known as Cakes, they're looking for a new leader. Previous one retired because of an incident with a wild pie. And, yeah, so we work with the head chef in order to create a cheesecake. This quest is pretty funny. There's some really good dialogue all over the place. Lots of good references that don't, hamper the plot. It's just like a little side reference, like the wild pie incident is an American Pie reference. There's two characters you go and speak to, Phil and Delphi. They're a reference to Philadelphia cream cheese, and conveniently, they're the people who teach you how to make cream cheese, so it was good. There's also a really great joke in here about how, the head chef's sworn us all to secrecy, but turns out he gets drunk at all the meetings and accidentally tells everybody what all of his secret concepts are. So that was pretty amusing. So you fix their dairy churn, so there's a new one in Falador, and then you make cream cheese with milk, and then once you're all done with that, you kind of go through the rest of the whole process. You're able to make biscuits, non-god biscuits, but just biscuits. You make those biscuits, you combine it with your new cream cheese, and you make a cheesecake. Then, at the very end, you take the the cheesecake, not the cream cheese, take it around to 3 different chefs that are also in there. Mess Sergeant Ramsey in Taverley. You take it to the cook of the Jolly Boar Inn, and you take it to the, the cook, where is he? Oh, yeah, the Lumbridge cook. You take it to him because, he's required for this quest, so obviously you have to take it to him. They all enjoy it. There's some funny references there as well. And, yeah, he becomes the new head of the Cake Association. And, good for him. And then afterwards, they did a nice job of sticking in a little extra, achievement at the end. If you make all additional 5 varieties of cake cheesecake you can make after the quest other than the main one, you get a 8k cooking XP, lamp, and a bunch of biscuits, and also an achievement, which is great. I'm glad they threw that in there. Adding little post-quest achievements is really great, and I appreciate the last couple of quests that have been doing that. Cheesecakes themselves aren't really going to be anything that top-end players care about, which is fine, honestly. They're 3-bite cakes. You can make regular vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, lemon, and bacon cheesecakes. They heal you for a certain amount. Bacon one is 1,500. And then they also restore an amount of prayer points, which I thought was actually a pretty cool move. Definitely a little different. Yeah, it's fine. It's not really anything like different or special. And that 1500 for the bacon one is at level 99, split among all 3 bites, so it's not like 1500 per bite. So they're not really anything like a top-end player is going to be fiending for, but it's just a nice little like mid-end thing. It's there and it exists. The quest is fine. Not really what I'm looking for, in terms of, we really need new quests, but like, it's fine. Good job. I don't really have any major complaints about this. It didn't seem to run into any bugs or problems, and it's cute. Nice. Alright, next we're going to quickly chat about the Farmhands update. Last week, we got an update to the player-owned farm that added Farmhands. These are basically NPCs that you don't actually see for the most part, that you can hire with beans in order to help your farm along. This includes things like stopping animal growth at adolescent stage, which has been very needed. I'm very grateful they did that. It makes it a lot easier to keep an eye on certain animals and really gain like your maximum bean potential out of them. There is a collector that can collect your animals in an unchecked state from the pens instead. And I think that's a nice touch as well. It can kind of give you some additional profit off of your farm. And then finally, there is the addition of, I believe it is the babysitters I was talking about earlier. Yeah, the first set of farmhands was the babysitters. Yeah, the final one is the trapper, right. Yeah, the trapper. The trapper is a dude that you can pay 100 beans and he will go out and get you a random unchecked animal. It could be anything, for the most part. Some of them are like absurdly rare, and obviously you aren't always going to get your beans worth, but when you do, it's cool. Like I've already gotten a spider and a chinchompa, as well as like a couple chickens. So like sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not. Who cares? It's interesting. It's a nice move actually. I'm very interested in seeing what other cool things I get from him. And it's only 100 beans, so it's really not a big investment either. Another thing that they added to the farm is the storm barn. It's a area you can build kind of under the farm, and you can store animals there. It initially comes in at 15 spaces, and then you can expand it by another 15. Nice. Some really nice quality of life updates happened with this as well. The interface doesn't close every time you remove an animal or swap animals and stuff like that, so it just makes the farm a lot easier to use. There's also a new trader. It is it's a baby troll who takes on the name of the animal that you give him last. His examine text is literally the fabled other farm where animals sometimes go, which means he's eating them, and he changes his name to the name of the last animal sold to him. He doesn't give you anywhere near as many beans as the regular guys, but if you've got like a stockpile of, chickens that you don't care about, then he is just fantastic. And it's funny and it's like really dark at the same time, so I'm a big fan. Good job. It's also just a nice level of convenience there, so that definitely gave me a good chuckle when I first noticed it and paid attention to it. There was also a new title that comes from completing the breeding log. I believe it is Old Mick, like MC, as in Old MacDonald. So that was a nice addition as well. And I believe that's everything from the Farmhands update. So finally, we're going to move to the final update that I really wanted to talk about. And that is from our boy Mod Stu. I know I'm getting really hyped here, but I mean, seriously, Stu does some of the best work in this game. Constantly on the grind for making really awesome quest content, be it making new quests or updating old quests that are in desperate need. And today, he has done something that this game has been itching for. It's something I know I've been advocating for a while, and it was something that I even offered a little assistance with during the most recent GameJam, which is when he did a lot of this content. What Mod Stu has added in is a ton, and I mean a ton, of sorting options for questing content. If you want to know where a quest takes place, you can sort your quest list by area. It'll show you what quests start in Lumbridge, Birthright, Taverley, Draenor, Wizard's Tower, Port Sarim, and Rimington, Falador, and Entrana. Varrock Outskirts, Edgeville, Silvaria and Paterdomus, Al-Kharid, Caridian Desert, Menefos and Sophonem, Mauritania, Port Phasmatis, Karamja, Sears Village, Fremnik Province, Fremnik Isles, Trollheim, Gnome Village, Gnome Stronghold, Kandarin, Northwest, Kandarin, West, Kandarin, North, Arden Zoo, because there are 4 quests that start in the Arden Zoo, Ardoin, whatever, Witchhaven, Kandarin South, Yanil, Feldipils, Keldagrim, man, I forgot how many quests start in Keldagrim, Dorgish Khan, Tsar City, Taranun, and then elsewhere, because there's some that start elsewhere. There's already the area sorting, that's fantastic. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You can still sort by free and members, they did great there. And then progress and difficulty, but beyond just difficulty, like special, Grandmaster, Master, all that, you can also sort by combat difficulty. So there's a sort of none, combat level 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 9, combat level scaled, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, goes all the way up to combat level 200 plus. So it's sorting by what the level of the monster in the quest is. Such a fantastic move. You can sort by length. I believe you could already do that, but you can still sort by length, and I approve of that immensely. Another really cool thing is at the bottom of the quest overview system, in the part where it tells you what your quest journal is, there's some arrows added now, and you can actually go back and forth between the last couple of quests that you've selected. Such a great move. I also believe that if you go to the quest overview screen, you can click on the quest and the requirement, and it'll bring you to there. Beyond length, you can sort by release date, 2001, all the way up to 2019, so you can see the exact order in which quests were released, which will actually help with timeline a lot. Now here's the part where I kind of got involved. So there's already the ages thing, that was already a sorting option, but Mod Stu also added timeline, which was something I helped out with. He even adopted some of the names that I used for like the general idea. So like Pathfinder, Adventurer, and we have Champion, we have Heroic, we have Legendary, Mythic, and World Guardian. So what the timeline is basically doing is it's all the quests that you would do potentially as a newer player with, little knowledge of the lore versus somebody who can access the Champions Guild or the Heroes Guild or the Legends Guild. That's what these names are after. And these are higher end quests that are further along in storylines. Mythic, for instance, contains While Guthix Sleeps, Nomad's Requiem, Ritual, the Majorat, The Void Stares Back, Brink of Extinction, Birthright of the Dwarves, Plague's End, and River of Blood. And then World Guardian includes all of these 6th Age required quests, which include things like the World Wakes at the very start, and the Needle Skips all the way at the very bottom. You can also sort by series, which I think is really important. That's such a great move. But Timeline is the one that really has me excited, because he did just so much great work. He really put a lot of effort into this to make this look absolutely fantastic. Some additional things that were changed. The Recipe for Disaster subquests actually have like their own subquest things in there, and so achievements can actually reference them now. More information has been added to quest overviews, such as quest series and the number in the series, the age, the release year, the recommended, if they're voice actors acted, if they're for members or free to play, and what their length is. The rewards are more clearly listed as well, and quest rewards that a player won't be given on like a repeat playthrough, rather. Apologies. For instance, if you're able to replay the quest or after a reset that you can do to yourself, they're no longer displayed on the complete or accept screen in order to clear up some confusion there. Some quest guidance stuff was added according to the patch notes. The quest portal stuff is a little more updated as well. Check out the patch notes for that. He fixed a ton of typos. He improved dialogue of Alona, who is a character who replaces Xenia at the Lumbridge Catacombs after Heart of Stone, because her dialogue used to it was Xenia's dialogue, except it was a different character, which was really weird because your player referred to her as Xenia. Mod Stu also went in and removed 6th Age dialogue in Birthright of the Dwarves, on Plague's End, in Beneath Cursed Tides, and made them actually age ambiguous or more leaning towards 5th Age, and then 6th Age dialogue only appears after you've completed those quests or after you've completed other certain quests, such as Beneath Cursed Tides with the World Wakes. Other quests have been reclassified on age based on some of the feedback myself and many others have offered. Nomad's Requiem and the unabridged Nadir saga has been added to the suggested requirements of Dishonored Among Thieves. And Dishonored Among Thieves has been added to the suggested requirements of Evil Dave's Big Day Out. Rune mechanics and Fate of the Gods have been added as a suggested requirement for Heart of Stone. Additionally, he's gone in and done some huge work on While Guthix Sleeps and Children of Ma, updating the requirements, removing a lot of really unnecessary ones, and even adding some where necessary. While Guthix Sleeps especially has lost a lot of requirements, losing the 270 quest point requirement, Morning's End Part 2 requirement, Recipe for Disaster, Summer's End, Swan Song, Zogre Flesh Eaters, all gone. Wanted has been required as a hard requirement, as is 25 agility, though you'll need higher anyway. There's some requirement checks on other characters. He fixed some weird dialogue issues with a character that dies before the 6th age starts, but still referenced the 6th age. That was really weird. The Snapdragon Seed is now no longer 20k. Basically just so much good changes. Children of Ma has also been updated, and it no longer requires Koshei's Troubles. I'm a little sad about this, because I was actually part of the people that kind of talked the team into adding this, but it does require Ritual of the Majora, and I understand the argument of trying not to lock each age's series of quests behind each other. So this is actually a good move. A 6th age version of Karshai has been added to the tip of the frozen area north of Relica, a reasonable difference from Koshei. Koshei being Karshai, but your character doesn't know that. Boy, that's hard to say 10 times fast. But he has been added up there. He also is kind of a Bane tutor in how to use all of that stuff. But if you have not completed Koshei's Troubles, you are able to talk to Karshai and start it that way. It's a little sad, but it is definitely the right move, and I really appreciate them doing that. Good work. Thank you. I know I just went through, like, rapid fire on, like, a bajillion changes to quests, but it just really shows Mod Stu is continuing to just absolutely kill it. Stu, you're doing amazing work, and everybody in the lore and quest community really appreciates these kind of updates. Thank you for taking the time to do all of these great things for quests. Thank you for doing all these things to improve the experience of new players trying to do quests. That's really, really the big one for me, is how great all of these quest, screen and quest requirement updates are. I really legitimately think that it's a fantastic series of changes that is going to improve the lives of a lot of new players trying to understand RuneScape's story. I really sincerely thank you for that move. It's really excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time. It means a lot. And with all of that out of the way, I think we're going to wrap this one up. It's a short one. It's a quickie today. It's been a fairly quiet couple of weeks, update-wise, since the end of, since Violet is Blue, we haven't really had anything, like, massively noteworthy to talk about since we've done so much coverage of the Mining and Smithing update already. Needless to say, the Mining and Smithing update was fantastic. Massive kudos to everybody who participated in that. That's a really, really excellent, really, really excellent update. And everybody involved in that should be massively proud of themselves. But, we'll be back, or at least I know I will be back for coverage of the Shadow Reef when that launches. Hopefully we'll be able to get the whole crew together for this one, because that's a big one to talk about. And I'm really excited to see what happens with that. The team behind it I have utmost trust in after the fantastic releases of Temple of Amanishi and the wonderful release of Dragonkin Lab. I still have scripts floating around for our top and bottom updates of 2018. Hopefully I will have the time to sit down, record, and edit all of that. And if I can't, I'll probably just do like a tweet or something. So keep an eye on either my Twitter at FannyGirdle or at the Society of Owls, and we'll try and get some kind of best and worst content out. I'd really like to do a video though, because it's something I feel very passionately about finding the time to do. I've got a couple tests this week, so maybe once I'm done with that and I'm done with my other responsibilities, I'll try and hop on that for realsies this time. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I've been Amascut. This is the Society of Owls, and I hope I'll see you back here next time. Once again, remember, this video is sponsored by the Cooks Guild, so go give them a visit. They're right outside the Grand Exchange. They really need business, really badly. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.